The much talked about FCT 6 area council elections are over. 3-3 draw for APC and PDP. But beyond the scorelines, what was the attitude of the bimodal voter accreditation system, the beavers, and of course the turnout of voters? Were there challenges that need to be addressed before subsequent elections? Our focus on Panorama today. I'm Elizabeth Omori. We're reaching you live from Abuja. We'll be right back. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has declared 4 weeks warning strike with immediate effect. This is coming after deliberations by the National Executive Council of the union. President of ASU says there is no going back as the industrial action is a means of pressing home their long overdue demands, which are in the interest of tertiary education in Nigeria. The demands which are in the interest of tertiary education in Nigeria, the president says, will include the implementation of MOA and MOU by the federal government, non-deployment of university transparency, accountability solutions, non-payment of earned academic allowance to members of ASU, OAU, victimization of academics in state universities, among others.
Into the amount for that budget in the federal memorandum signed with ASU. And the government recently released 21.1 billion for payment of some EAD allowances. However, many years of pay entitlement are still outstanding, and this will also trigger the crisis within the system. Then, very importantly, non-payment of EAD to members of ASU OAU. As of today, OAU has been on strike for the past 1 week. And the reason being that when the 22.1 billion was released, there is a template for paying to members of our union and academic staff.
In other news, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo departs Abuja for Monrovia, Liberia, to represent President Muhammadu Buhari at the formal launch of the year-long commemoration of the country's bicentennial anniversary. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is joining other leaders across Africa and beyond to grace the event, scheduled to hold at the Samuel Doe Stadium in Monrovia. The Vice President will also attend other events in Monrovia as part of the Liberian national celebrations. Liberia was founded in 1822 when freed black people started relocating to West Africa from the United States. On July 26, 1847, the country proclaimed its independence and became the Republic of Liberia. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is being accompanied on the trip by Minister of State, Foreign Affairs and Special Advisor to the President on Economic Matters, Dr. Adeyemi Dikpeolu. Laulu Akonde, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity in the Office of the Vice President, in a press release indicated that the Nigerian delegation is expected back in the country on Tuesday, February 15. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, is collaborating with security agencies to address the increasing rate of human trafficking. Dr. Fatima Waziri, the Director General of NAPTIP, is therefore seeking the support of the Nigerian Army in this regard as she visits the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya. Trafficking in persons for human organs has become the most trending aspect of human trafficking.
Over the years, we've enjoyed regular trainings on SISC at DIC in Cairo. I'll crave your indulgence if we can get more opportunities to get different kind of trainings. So any kind of capacity building, especially for our investigators. We have an intelligence and international cooperation unit. If we can get capacity building for them.
We are always willing to support. I'm happy that you identify the need to corroborate and liaise with other agencies, and now we are ready to provide our own support. I will encourage you also to reach out to all other agencies, including, I believe you also have your own probably statistics or mapping, and know areas where these things are prevalent, and now emphasize those. And sometimes we can even have some that workshop or discussion, whatever, and map out what other strategy we can.
The agency has so far secured 500 convictions since inception. In an effort to reduce the effect of human trafficking in the country, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has taken its campaign to Koma communities in Adamawa State to sensitize and enlighten the people on the dangers of human trafficking. Simon Asha reports that Koma communities over the years have fallen victims to human trafficking that necessitated the visit by NAPTIP to the area.
In the local government area of Adamawa State, the area is bedeviled with the menace of child trafficking since 1990, with tens of hundred children, especially female, taken due to the vulnerability of the communities who are easily brainwashed by the traffickers for a better life of their words away from home. More often for the Koma people, it ends in tears, as Naibla Yunusa, a 28-year-old woman and a mother of one, among other members of the community, said their situation is pathetic due to the devastating effect of the unwholesome act.
I know of 36 children, including my niece, taken from our community.
The thing is very rampant, and the problem is that they are deceiving us that these children they are taken away, they are going to school.
Mindful of this, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, in conjunction with First Step, wired the community to enlighten and sensitize the people of the dangers and the way out.
We are currently having 3 cases pending in Federal High Court in Yola, and all the victims, they are from this community. That's what they set us to come and have a serious sensitization in this community,
which we hope is going to go a long way in reducing the trafficking of humans in this community.
The district head of Koma, Dr. Jalo Hamanjalo Abba, commended NAPTIP for their efforts, saying the advocacy will not have come at a time better than now.
You go to the grassroots and educate us, and I think by doing that, this problem will be reduced.
With this enlightenment campaign, it is expected that the people of Koma will be better equipped on the menace of human trafficking. In Yola, Simon Asha, NTA News.
Now to electoral matters. The results of the chairmanship election in the 6 area councils of the Federal Capital Territory have been released by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Adiza Ibuni reports that APC and PDP acquired 3 seats each.
The 6 area councils in the FCT chairmanship election has been released. From Abuja Area Council, APC won with 7,280, while the PDP polled 4,062 votes and ADP 25.
We cannot go into declaring a candidate winner because the winning party here does not have a candidate that we can return as a winner.
From Gwagwalada, APC polled 11,125 votes, PDP 9,597, and ABGA got 106 votes.
Abubakar of APC, having satisfied the requirement of the law, is hereby declared the winner.
While from Kuje, PDP emerged winner with 13,301 votes. APC 7,694 votes and LP 79.
Suleiman Abdullah Sabo of PDP, having certified the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner.
And from Buari Area Council, PDP polled 13,045 votes, while APC 7,697 and ABGA 603 votes.
John Gabaya Shekwogwaza of PDP, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner.
From Kwali Area Council, APC won with 7,646 votes, PDP 7,345 and ADP 70 votes.
Sunday Danladi Chia of APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner.
And from AMAC, PDP emerged winner with 19,302 votes, APC 13,240, and PRP 287.
Christopher Zaka of People's Democratic Party, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
With this announcement of results from the 6 area councils of the FCT, the chairmanship election has come to an end. The only area council yet to have its chairman declared is Abuja, won by the APC. Hadiza Ebune, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Center for Democratic Development, CDD, has expressed concern over the 4 polling units in Ward 5 of the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, that recorded no voter turnout in the FCT Area Council elections. Miriam Amado reports that the CDD program officer made this known while briefing journalists on the group's findings.
Observe that the general turnout of voters in the FCT Area Council elections was impressive, particularly in Gwagwalada, where a crowd came out in their numbers. The group also noted the incident of monies exchanging hands in Abaji Southeast Ward and Gwagwalada.
The strategy of vote buying involved party agents asking voters who had been induced to converge in a particular location away from the polling unit to sell their votes. Also, the problem of poor crowd management, which led to INEC officials being overcrowded by voters, thereby disrupting the general electoral process.
CDD also pointed out the partial malfunctioning of bimodal voter accreditation system BVAS across some polling units, while in others it was a failure.
The BVAS, we are waiting for INEC to respond. We tried to reach them during the course of this failure. The question kept coming, the feedback kept coming that they were on top of the situation.
CDD observers' data show that 33.2% of INEC officials were women, while 66.8% men across the areas the group monitored. Miriam Amadi, NTA News.
And to speak more on the just concluded FCT election is Chris Aguirre, Election Observer Clint Foundation. Mr. Aguirre, thank you so much for joining us on the news.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, I would like to start with the bimodal voter assessment system. What will be assessment of this?
Okay, well, quickly let me correct this. I'm Chris Aguirre of the Flag Foundation of Nigeria.
Apologies.
And then, the BVAS, I was particularly judging from our Anambra State election last November, and then this. The challenge is still there.
Okay.
And because you will see some places within the complex, there are 4 polling units. 2 is working well. 1 may not work at all. Then the other one will work like 15–20%. So, and it made voters themselves were becoming more hostile. The situation where they will come to make sacrifice of time, of course, as expected, it's a civic responsibility, obligation for that matter. And then the frustration of not being able to vote. You do not capture either their if you want to capture it, their imagery, it will not. By fingerprint, it will not. So it's a problem. INEC, judging from what we experienced in Anambra and on Saturday, as a field observer, INEC has to go back to drawing board and either upgrade of that the equipment for the BVAS, which is of course a very good one. We hear there's no doubt that it's a free and fair election. Courtesy of that, the BVAS equipment. Once you vote, your vote counts. Once you are captured, it's registered.
Okay, now I'm sorry to comment there. Another concern is the no turnout in AMAC. This is an issue.
Well,
and what does this really portend for our democracy?
No, so the issue is this. In terms of, there is almost no civic education.
Okay.
And that is a major thing. the citizens must become conscious of their duties and responsibilities for citizenship. We must begin to see the election and the electoral process as that's the desire of our future. Whatever that's going to the future holds for us is dependent on the election. So going forward, I am of the view that all avenues, all channels should be deployed in educating people, in sensitizing them, making them become more conscious of their duties in terms of election. Because as long as people shy away, nothing changes. We had the issue of, this pessimism of our vote. Our vote does not matter. Our vote does not count. But I am here telling you, Nigerians, from my experience in Anambra Guber election last November and what happened on Saturday, your vote must count. The era of result writing and result duplication is gone and gone forever. Of course, your vote must count. And that is the message that we should spread to Nigerians, to come to terms that, yes, their vote must count. Their vote must count based on the improvement of the card reader via the device. INEC on their side should increase whatever that is required to make the device more responsive and more workable.
All right, I would like to ask you this because as a critical actor in election matters, Ekiti governorship election is just around the corner. June is not far from us. What are the lessons we can learn from this? Political parties, government, politicians, and Nigerians themselves.
Nigerians themselves. We, as a field observer, from Anambra down here, then going to Ekiti, all hands must be on deck. First, in support of INEC, on one hand, let me also say this. The INEC ad hoc staff should be given more adequate training. We saw some instances where they are not able to, effectively operate the system. They should. I also said it here last November. INEC should maintain a database of all those Nigerians they've used at one time or another for electoral duties. So whenever there's time for election, you call on them. Other than in any round of election, you recruit new people, and the training is ad hoc. They are called ad hoc staff. It poses a lot of challenge. You see, then another aspect is the cooperation of the entire participants, voters, party agents, INEC officials, security agents, to understand that, look, the election thing is a meticulous process. People sometimes are in a hurry. People sometimes are impatient. And then sometimes the INEC staff themselves, the ad hoc staff, are so overwhelmed. There's confusion everywhere. You see. And then going forward in that regard, I will advise, I call on Mr. President to please sign that electoral act. Because general election is about 1 year away. Sign the electoral act. And then whatever that needs to be corrected should be corrected and signed. On the basis of that, we go to the field. Every Nigerian is expected to must show interest in the political process.
All right, Mr. Chris, this is the much I can take. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on the news. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
You're still watching Panorama. Let's take a breather now. More reports ahead. To stay with us.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
You're still watching Panorama live from Abuja. And don't forget, you can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on our other social media platforms. National Executive Committee and Council of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria is working out modalities to invigorate the industry and address contemporary pharmaceutical challenges in Nigeria. This was the major focus of discussion during investiture and inauguration of new executives of the society in Abuja. Charles Alpha reports.
I have the privilege to be able to transfer this power to you.
An era climaxed with the transfer of the mantle of leadership from the outgoing to the incoming national executive to spearhead the next phase of the society. Apply yourself to the job and achieve reasonable self-sufficiency in drug production while also striving to get rid of fake and expired drugs out of the reach of the younger generation were some of the recommendations to the new executive.
We're working on the new pharmacy law, which we got at least to the point where it is in the presidency waiting for approval. And I'm sure my successors will follow through to see that the new Pharmacy Act becomes law.
Medicine security is very important. If you don't have medicine and there's crisis like what happened during the COVID era, we could be in trouble. Pharmacies are very relevant and they will educate the public on appropriate use of medicine. And that's what we term pharmaceutical care. In addition, we also want to let the public know that pharmacies are relevant in the society and they will be responsible in providing necessary direction as drug experts.
Deserving members of the society were honored as fellows for their meritorious services to the professional body. Minister of Health, Aguirre, Minister of Works, Babatunde Raji Fashola, and other notable personalities attended the investiture. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps has put in place all measures to ensure safety of road users during the Valentine's celebrations, as it wants road users to desist from indulging in drunk driving, excessive speed, and resist the temptation to drive recklessly so as to mitigate all incidences of road traffic crashes during the celebration. The Corps Marshal, Dr. Boboye Oyemi, to this end has directed commanding officers across board to double their efforts by ensuring massive deployment of officers and men for enhanced visibility, adequate traffic control, and maximum enforcement of all COVID-19 protocols among motorists. And next, some sporting stories.
After their victorious outing in Serbia, venue of the just concluded FIBA Women's World Cup qualifiers, Nigeria's women's senior basketball team, the Tigresses, will return to the country Tuesday to continue preparations. African champions picked the World Cup ticket beating France 67-65 and Mali 73-69 in the group stage. Meanwhile, winners have emerged in a one-day polo tournament in Abuja to celebrate the tourney of 3 members of the Abuja Polo Club who were recently honored with the chieftaincy title in Daura, Katsina State. Team Daura in black jersey claimed the Dan Amana Cup, beating Haushe 3-2, while Team Duse defeated Dan Amana 2-1 to win the Tafida Baban Daura Cup. The tournament attracted dignitaries from all walks of life. 6 home wins were recorded in the match day 12 of the Nigeria Professional Football League on Sunday. Rivers United beat Wiki Tourist of Bauchi 3-0. Katsina United pipped Kwara United 1-0, while the same scoreline were recorded between Gombe United and Raymond Stars, Shooting Stars and Dakada FC. Enugu Rangers was 2-1 better over Abia Warriors. The same scoreline was recorded between Lobby Stars and MFM. Kano Pillars lost at home to Plateau United 1-0. Meanwhile, Coach Kennedy Boboye has parted ways with Nigeria Professional Football League reigning champions Akwa United after a run of poor results in the 2021-2022 league season. With sport updates, Clement Olonutoba, NT News.
And that's Panorama today. We want to thank you so much for your time. Don't forget the campaign against rape is still on. Take action today. Good afternoon.